In the vault, you get 2 chances. They average both scores, and that's your total score. The score to beat averaged is 9.600. And Adler's first vault is a 9.65. So she's ahead of the game. Vault number 2, a 9.675. And Adler from the United States will claim gold, winning it with a 9.662. Dolgopolova is second, and Amanar is third. Now to the uneven bars with Russian Svetlana Korkina.
And Greg, you won't believe her work on the uneven bars. She has been so consistent on this event, and more than that, just unique from start to finish. It's wonderful to see the creativity in this routine. She uses every inch of this long body to make the routine spectacular. And that's her move. Watch the dismount. She's going to be aggressive on the landing. Perfect.
And there goes the gold for the uneven bars to the Russian Svetlana Korkina. Elise Ray with the silver, and Simona Amanar takes her second bronze of the day. Now to the men's floor exercises. Russian Alexei Niemov.
So the door is open for Niemov to repeat as Goodwill Games floor champion.
Beautiful opening tumbling run. This here is a critical pass. 3 front moves in a row, nicely done.
Now watch the finesse here. He does these so beautifully.
Only 7th in the all-around last night, but had the highest score in the floor exercise.
Although he's had most success on floor and vault, he says high bar is his favorite event because you're always flying.
Solid routine so far.
Probably a pike double back somersault right here. Nice form, good control. He's such a ham, Greg. It's interesting because he has told us that he admits he's much more popular here in America than he is in Russia.
But your popularity can increase with a gold medal. Niemov, the winner. Jay Thornton of the U.S. second, and Bondarenko of Russia third. And now to the pommel horse, and Russia's Nikolai Krukov.
5th on the pommel horse at the 97 Worlds. He was the junior European champion on the event in 96.
Greg, he has the stuff in this routine to win this whole thing. Now, Bondarenko has the high score of 9.625. Krukov is so smooth. Nice tight body presentation. Oh, I love this sequence here, all the way across the horse.
This routine is lasting for days. It's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Well, he's 19 now. He'll be 20 when he's finished.
It's what it takes to get all the bonus in.
And Nikolai Krukov of Russia claims the gold. Bondarenko with his second medal today, the silver, and Tomita the bronze. The medal count has the United States in front overall, but Russia with 4 golds and Kenya third based on their distance running. You better have some high-speed film ready for our pictures of the day.
The vaulting board, her body was turning over. The plan was to put her hands on the horse and turn over and land on your feet. And she went a little bit past her feet and hit her head on the mat. And this
medals were at stake. First on the floor exercise, where the U.S.'s Vanessa Atler is looking to claim her second gold medal, winning the vault yesterday.
Simona Amenar is in the lead right now, and it's really based on her tumbling, and Vanessa Atler can out-tumble her if she just hits these passes.
Amenar's score 9.725.
Here comes that first pass you were talking about, Kathy.
It's a big one, and it's new for Vanessa. Double layout, punch.
Away from Vitrichenko.
She definitely can. She packs the punch. Gives a little kiss to the audience there. She gets all the bonus points. It's bonus points for her choreography, her originality, and musicality. There's the Kabayeva.
98 European all-around champion. And amazingly, only 15.
But she started at age 3 and was picked to start serious training at 7. That's a back scale 360-degree pivot. One of the most difficult parts of this competition.
Kabayeva of Russia wins the overall, having a better than 9-9 on every event. Vitrichenko, whom you saw on the clubs, takes the silver, and Pavlina the bronze. Now to the men's parallel bars. The 5th of 6 events on the men's side. There you see Juan Xu, who needs to beat a 9-7 to win the gold medal in the event.
Liu Yufu of China. Correction, this is Huang Shu of China.
Nice sequence right there, what they call the pike double back somersault. He is so aggressive and at the same time so technical. Here's another one. My goodness. We just marvel at the precise technique. Oh, look at the position in the air. That is going to get a huge score. The Chinese define good technique.
Juan Xu takes the gold with a 9.75. Ivankov the silver, and Bondarenko gets the bronze. Now to the 6th and final individual event, and it's the high bar. Belarus's Ivankov is the all-around champ. He goes for his second gold of the tournament.
Ivankov had a 9.575, which is the highest score in the prelims of the guys who actually competed in the all-around competition here. Konskinen is here as a specialist.
Ivankov won the all-around, took a silver on the rings.
We saw him at the World Championships in the finals just about a year ago. Have a nasty fall on the move coming up right here. It's the double over the bar in the pike laid out position, and a little too close. You see, he had to bend his arms as he swung out of it. He'll take a deduction for that. Talked with his coach, Victor Doilidov, and he said he felt that Ivan was just a little lethargic today, a little slow. He said he felt a little heavy. 4 days of intense competition here in a row at the Goodwill Games, but that was a huge dismount. Nice finish.
Ivan Ivankov on the high bar, raising the bar, perhaps.
No perhaps about it. Ivankov wins his 4th medal of the games with a 9.725. Niemov is 2nd, and Fedorchenko is 3rd. Coming up next,
unbelievable.
Straight across.
We're so used to seeing them so high, this almost looks strange, but it's gorgeous.
Needs a good landing. It's a double layout.
And Lamort wins the gold with a 9.7 in front of friends and family. Local boy makes good. Ivankov and Bondarenko tie for the silver. Coming up next, beach volleyball.
There she releases one end of the rope. You have to demonstrate releases of the rope throughout your routine. Now she just performed a leap into a back scale, which is a combination movement. There's her leap through the rope.
Has engaged the crowd, which now claps along and beat with the music.
And so far, I think this routine is a little stronger than last night.
Vitrichenko was second in the all-around in rope.
There's the Vitrichenko. Little pre-acrobatic element. There's a double illusion here. Perfect catch. Great exercise. She looks stronger than last night.
And she has a stronger score, 9.908, and claims the gold. Kabayeva and Pavlina get the silver and the bronze. The second event, hoop. What a 2 days for Russia's Elena Kabayeva. She won all 4 events in the all-around and would win 3 of 4 individuals today.
She's won the last 3 events she's been in.
Kabayeva second in the opening rotation of rope.
Here's her disco hoop routine that she enjoys to perform. It's a needle pivot. She kicks that hoop into the air there. Judges, of course, are looking for originality. Kabayeva's strength is just about everything, but she does some of the most original moves in this competition.
And demonstrating once again why her American competitors call her Smiley.
She had a little hop on the pivot there. It should be about a 0.05 deduction. There's the Kabayeva.
Elena Kabayeva, all-around champion of these Goodwill Games.
The medal winners for the hoop are the same as for the rope, but in a different order. Kabayeva takes the gold. The silver and the bronze go to Pavlina and Vitrichenko. Kabayeva would win 2 more golds, and we'll see them next, starting with the clubs. She would draw the 8th and final position to perform, but just before the event, she noticed that one of her clubs was broken. She would have to win the event with a borrowed set. The score to beat, a 9.933.
And besides the unbelievable flexibility in this routine, she also tosses her equipment so high in the air.
There's a interesting position to start.
Difficult. Takes many years to get that flexible and to complete hours of ballet and strength and balance training.
Kabayeva won the all-around, also won the hoop, and was second in the rope. She has not placed lower than second so far in any event.
likes to dance. Setting up here, her back scale pivot.
And she finishes as she began.
The borrowed clubs don't hurt her. A 9.958 to win the gold. Once again, Pavlina comes up with the silver. It's her third medal of 4 on the day, and none of them would be gold. Alexandrova of Bulgaria was the bronze. Now to the ribbon. And this is Kabaeva's favorite event. She will perform 6th of 8. And the best score in the house is Yevgeny Pavlina of Belarus with a 9.933. Kabaeva will have to duplicate her score on the ribbon last night to win the event. This will be her third of 4 individual golds, plus the all-around last night for a total of 4.
And this, like some of the other competitors, is her favorite event. There's the Kabaeva, one of her 2 signature moves. She tosses there with her foot.
Very playful.
Very playful, yet very musical and expressive at the same time. It's called a gun leap into a double stag leap. Here's her turning combination. Another foot toss. Said it before, she packs a punch.
And she'll have to pack another suitcase with all the medals she's racking up. Her third individual gold, her fourth when you count last night's all-around. Kabaeva with the gold, Pavlina and Mustafina with the bronze and the silver. Coming up next, men's diving. Continued with more gymnastics and a very interesting format of mixed pairs. A male and female gymnast were paired as a team, and each gymnast performed one event of their choice, with the 2 scores being combined. Yesterday, there were 2 rotations, and after each rotation, the field was cut slightly. Here are the leaders after the first rotation. Russia's Alexei Niemov on the floor.
He's the reigning world champion on this event, and his coach Yevgeny Nikolko says because he had a lot of choreography training, he's so polished. But boy, this power in the double-double laid out position is just overwhelming. That's a more difficult tumbling run than he did in the earlier competitions this week.
He had a very serious face on before this performance. You never know what to expect from Niemov now. He really likes hamming it up for the crowd.
I just love the toe point, the extension, the polish. I think young gymnasts out there should really pay attention to how he presents his routines, because not only does he have the power and the quickness. Watch this punch right here to front 1 1/4. Oh, he's a little shorter rotation. He pulled it around, and yet he still stylizes the finish.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's just beautiful to watch, and this is what young gymnasts out there should pattern their gymnastics after.
So much emphasis these days on difficulty, but if you don't have the polish, you can't get a good score either. Pike double back. Beautiful.
Alexei Niemov.
He scores a 9.625 on the floor exercise. And now we'll see what his partner can do. Svetlana Korkina on the uneven bars.
She is exquisite on this event usually, and I think everyone held their breath right there in this arena. almost didn't make it over on that pirouette, but she did it with such style. I don't think she'll get much of a deduction.
On this event, 96 Olympic gold, 97 World Championship gold, 98 European gold.
She is taking things right to the maximum here, including a great dismount and landing.
And Korkina scores a 9.85. Together, the Russians lead after one rotation with a 19.475. Now to the second rotation, the Ukraine's Roman Zuzulya on the pommel horse.
Roman Zozulya. His teammate Olga Teslenka. They were in third after the first round.
They are probably the least animated of the top teams here.
But his gymnastics speaks for itself.
Just like we saw on the rings. See how straight his body is?
That's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. And it means that he can keep his hips above the pommel. See how high his hips are over the pommels and over the horse as he swings. That's an advantage because he has more room for error than many of the other gymnasts in the competition.
What's the ideal body type in this event, Bart? You want to have long arms?
Yes, it's an advantage to have long arms and a rather short torso so that you can keep your hips above the horse.
Roman Zozulya with a good routine, 9.675 on the pommel horse. Now up his partner, Olga Teslenka, on the beam.
She's a very well-designed routine. Keep in mind the judges have anywhere from 1/10 to 4/10 of a point to deduct for slight balance breaks up to major balance breaks. And then, of course, 5/10 of a point off for a fall.
Teslenka second in the Goodwill Games balance beam final. Also second in the 98 European. So a couple of silver medals on the beam quite recently.
Actually, the judges can even take off a 1/2 tenth for just like a check where they're not quite solid. So they are looking very closely. It's what makes this event very, very difficult.
Ukraine needs only a 16.9 in this round to pass Hungary for the 8th spot so far.
Tumbling cast right off the balance beam. Very nicely done.
Teslenka with a 9.725 on the balance beam. The Ukrainians now take the lead. Russia is second and China is third. That's the standings after two.
At Nassau County Medical Center after 7 hours of spinal fusion.
Where the one on top has slid forward 70.
Wiped out as we start fresh. This is the leaders from last night, the Ukrainian team. Up first is Roman Zozulya. He picks his favorite event, the rings. Last night he had a 9.6. We'll see if he can do better here tonight in round one.
They are so modest compared to Nemov and Horkina, who are certainly really out there and animated, but they're equally impressive. Zozulya had a 9.7 in one of the preliminary rounds on this event, so he has the potential for a great score here. Notice the rings are swinging. Every swing of the rings, he can have as much of as a 1/10 of a point deducted for the loss of control there. But his body line and technique is just absolutely perfect.
Well, it's not quite perfect. Roman Zozulya scores a 9.675. It does beat his score from last night. Now to his partner, Olga Teslenko, on the uneven bars. Last night, she turned in a 9.725 on this event.
She swings really well on this event. Once in a while, she loses a little bit of form with her feet and legs. But when she's tight, it's beautiful.
She also has the distinction of having a move named after her.
Notice the position she hits, right? Oh, very nice landing on a double front. A difficult dismount to land that well.
The Ukrainians would lead after one rotation with a 19.4. But right behind them as we begin the second rotation is the Chinese team. They had a 19.375 in the first rotation. Huan Xu did the pommel horse the first time, now will attempt the parallel bars.
As a team, the Chinese men have owned parallel bars for about 10 years. It's like when you go to the World Championships and they predict who's going to win. You can just put China in first and second place on the parallel bars and just insert name here later, because one of their gymnasts will nail a routine like this with that kind of difficulty and just with the most precise technique that you can imagine. Look at that. How is it that they do such hard routines with such ease? Look at the height on that dismount.
Huan Xu scores a 9.75. His partner Ling Ji would turn in the best score of the night on any event right here on the beam.
Hold on tight for this mount. I've never seen amplitude like this. It is magnificent. The whole routine is incredible. But watch the height above the beam. That is just gorgeous. Bart, we should be able to say the exact same thing about the Chinese women on balance beam and uneven bars. They should have won every major competition on those two events, and they haven't because they haven't shown the consistency yet. But when they get that consistency, they will be as dominant. Watch the amplitude here on this middle element. Very, very difficult. Slight pause. She usually goes right into the aerial walkover. And not only does she do the high-level tricks with incredible technique and amplitude, but there's a presence there. There's elegance and dance and beauty.
For those who don't know the word amplitude, Kathy, quickly.
Height, virtuosity, the height off the beam when they go into an element.
If you were an extreme athlete, you'd call it big air.
This is superb. Beautiful exercise.
Ling Ji with a 9.875. And China wins the match with a near perfect 39 score. Russia took the silver and the bronze. And by virtue of the wrestling win over the Russians, the United States lead in golds and are comfortable in silver and bronze. We conclude with our picture of the day. The wrestling world honoring retiring Bruce Baumgartner. He concludes his career as a two-time Olympic champion and a two-time Goodwill Games